Hey YouTube, hey subscribers, thanks for tuning in. A couple of years ago, back in 2013, an article came out and it was talking about this obituary that these children had published in regard to their mother who had just passed away. And the reason that it made headline news was because it was scathingly honest. And I'm actually going to go ahead and read it here for you guys. And it goes, Marianne Teresa Johnson Reddick, born January 4th, 1935, died alone on August 30th, 2013. She is survived by her 6 of 8 children, whom she spent her lifetime torturing in every way possible. While she neglected and abused her small children, she refused to allow anyone else to care or show compassion towards them. When they became adults, she stalked and tortured anyone they dared to love. Everyone she met, adult or child, was tortured by her cruelty and exposure to violence, criminal activity, vulgarity, and hatred of the gentle and kind human spirit. On behalf of her children, whom she abrasively exposed to her evil and violent life, we celebrate her passing from this earth and hope she lives in the afterlife, reliving each gesture of violence, cruelty, and shame that she delivered on her children. Her surviving children will now live the rest of their lives with the peace of knowing their nightmare finally has some form of closure. Most of us have found peace in helping those who have been exposed to child abuse and hope this message of her final passing can revive our message that abusing children is unforgivable, shameless, and should not be tolerated in a humane society. Our greatest wish now is to stimulate a national movement that mandates a purposeful and dedicated war against child abuse in the United States of America. And I will link this in the description box for you guys so you can go read it for yourselves. But many of you might actually remember this story from a while back. And I remember when it came out, and I remember thinking to myself, thank you. Finally, someone told the truth in an obituary. Because you can't tell me that all of these people, all of these human beings that walk the face of the earth were wonderful, patient, kind, light up the room when they come into it, generous and loving. And please, it's not happening like that. No one's being honest anymore. And that's why nobody's learning anything and why we keep repeating mistakes and repeating history and over again, because we're always trying to clean history up. We're always trying to put a marketing spin on everything, including horrible shit that happens to us in the past. My point in all of that and this whole video is that narcissists in general have a very cavalier disregard for their own reputation. I raised the example with the mother to illustrate how narcissists live their entire lives without regard for how they will be perceived in the end. So in fairness, we don't have the mother's side of the story. We only have the child's or children's side of the story, and we won't have an opportunity to ask the mother her side of the story. But for the sake of this video, we're going to assume that the information the children have provided is true. And think about that. If everything that they're saying is true, this woman lived her life being violent, cruel, vulgar, having hatred towards the gentle or kind human spirit, engaging in criminal activity. So again, if all of these things are true, then this is a woman who lived her life with a very cavalier disregard for her reputation. I did not make that phrase up. I read it somewhere recently and didn't take note of the article or author, but I took note of the quote because it just stuck in my mind. So if you're not familiar with the term Cavalier, let me pull it up here for you guys, because you know I like to be accurate. The adjective form of it is showing a lack of proper concern, offhand, indifferent, casual, dismissive, unconcerned. So if someone has a cavalier disregard for their own reputation, basically it's just saying that they operate and act in such a way that would indicate that they don't care at all the legacy that they're leaving behind. They don't care. And it's often because in their minds, they are already a legacy. They are already legends in their minds. They think that everyone else thinks the same thing about them too. And it's one thing to be unaware. We all have blind spots that we can't see, mistakes that we're making that we don't see. And when someone brings it to our attention, and you can tell that they're actually trying to help you. They're not just trying to be critical of you. And you actually, for the first time, go, wow, I do see it that way. I see how it could look that way. And you try to make efforts towards change. That's one thing, versus the person who you bring it to their attention and they double down on their efforts. Whatever it is that you brought to them as a complaint, they double down on it. They do more of it in an effort to show you that you will not change who they are or how they act and behave, even if it harms other people. So that's a narcissist for you guys. They have an extremely cavalier disregard for their own reputation. And if you come across a person like this in the early stages and you can break away and break away fast. Take care, and I grant you the permission to exist. Bye-bye.